How's it going? Welcome to the shop. Hope you're having a great day. Well, let's get on some of these swooping plunges. Alright, you ready? Here we go! Welcome back. So, I think this is the first time where I've done a couple knives where I don't have any hollow grinds. They're all flat grinds with swooping plunges. I think since this is such a different knife, I'm going to do this one last. I can't show the real knife makers of America's build, so I'll show you on these two. And I'm even going to do a swedge on this, so I'll show you how I do my swedges. If you're new here, I got Amazon links up here on the card with links to my website for knives and shirts. Down in the description's everything I use for making knives and shooting my videos. Alright, let's get some Dykem on these knives. Roll the slow-mo. So I got a 36 on here, brand new. We're going to knock down to the first line that we marked, the center line. We're not going to do our swedges yet, and we're not going to come over here and do our plunges. We're just going to stay right here. Actually, let me get a marker. You're going to want to mark your lines, how you want your swoop to come up. Both sides. Now this isn't just a guide, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure you don't go over what you plan on doing. And for the first belt, we're not coming back that far. We're still leaving ourselves space. We're just going to take it down to our line and bring it up. We might not even come up to this line because 36 is a heavy grip. When we get up to 60 or 120, then we'll start coming back and bringing in this swoop. You're still going to want the belt to hang over a little bit just to bring you in that swooping. You don't want it straight up because as you come over here, it's going to want to curve in. So just make sure you're always having the belt hang over. Then we can tune it in later. Alright, so I went over my line there just a little bit, but I got it back. I had to bring it down straight and bring it in. You don't want to do that too much or you're going to make your blade shorter and shorter. So, we all make mistakes. Just got to pay attention. You know, like I say, I did that for you guys. but my edge is really actually thick, so we're going to go a lot thinner than this. I'm glad I got the battery pack for this because the power adapter for the battery pack for the Sony. I thought you could hook it up USB and run, but no, it died on me, so back to grinding. On the 1 horsepower, I got so used to turning the power switch off first. I need to just turn the start and stop off. Anyway, see, here's why we bring it down to the line. Because see, now we came up to where we want, and now we just got to bring it down and get all these facets out, and then we'll be good. And then as we go higher, we'll bring this back just a little bit more and a little bit more. But we want to stay where we are right now until we get to like at least a 60. Now, as long as you stay here and over, you can bring the belt back over. You only want it hanging over when you come close to here, because that hanging over belt is what's gonna give you that curve. So I'm gonna put the belt back in and just see, we got facets here, facets here, and facets here. I'm gonna get that all down to the line. When you have a big old choil like that, it's a lot easier to go to the line. But as you can see, the more you swoop it in, the more it's gonna curve like that. All right. Now, even when you come down here a little bit, you see how I went over just a little bit to start it? You just want to tap it in, just like I told you, if you watch the beginner knife maker, you just want to tap it in and get it to where you're breaking, because right here, between here and here, it's going to be a rough jump. So if you try to go like that, it'll cut it, and it'll jump out of your hand when it finally gives. And if you're noticing, so right here, I got this facet right here, so that means I got to bring everything else down to here. I'm keeping my fingers right here and just slowly working it. I'm not pushing into it. I'm not grinding hard. I'm letting the belt do the work and bring everything down to this point, because that's the low point now. So we have to just kind of, you don't want to put your fingers down here, because then you'll start coming up past your line. You just kind of want to put it right there and work everything down to that. See, down here, we still got a little bit here and just a little bit here. Now, I wouldn't really worry about here, because we're going to make this center line a little bit thin. Well, no, this center line's pretty thin. So, I would just, when we get up to 60 and 120, we can worry about getting these little bits in. We just want to get this one facet out right here. Don't push down. Don't put your fingers down here, because then you'll bring it up past your line. We're just rough grinding now. We don't want to put anything in permanent until after. So that's why I stopped right here, and that's why I stopped right here. You know, this should be it. You know, the rough grind is to get everything set. Then we'll go to 60 and refine it, 120 and refine it, 240, so on and so on. This is just to get your bevel set. And when we get up to like maybe 120, I think 120, I said 60, but 120 will take that curve on. I'm not going to put it on the magnet and surface grind it. I surface ground this before, but I like to go up in grits, but I don't like to start on 36. So now I'm just gonna put a 60 grit on here and touch it up, get everything smoothed out, maybe bring the plunges back just a little bit more, and then 120, we'll back it in, and I'll show you all that. I think it's time-lapse time for this knife. Like I said, the fillet knife I want to do on its own, because that's a whole different structure. Got to draw these in just like I did, and time-lapse time. So I went through 60 on the time lapse, here's 120. We should have our finished line. So just be careful. This is where you have to really pay attention, because if you go over the line, then you have to grind it down and make it thinner and thinner and all that, and do things to fix mistakes. Now you can, you just have to keep going and grinding and making it thicker again. So that said, when we get here, like I said before, we're going to have this belt hanging over. But if you press in like that, it's going to stop, see? And then it's going to give all of a sudden. And then you're going to come way out here, and you're going to mess up your plunge line. So you'll be hitting, and all of a sudden it'll give. And you'll get wham, and you'll grind big old gouge right there. So you have to just tap it. Tap it, tap it, tap it. Tap it all the way back to where you drew your line. Just tap it, tap it, tap it. I would actually stay a little bit away from the line. Give yourself a little air room. But tap it in, tap it in, tap it in. And bring it up just a little bit. And then grind. Tap it in a little bit and then grind. Get that little lip right there out of the way. And then the more you hang your belt over, the more of a swoop. And then you're just going to have to slowly go down. Just like I showed in the Beginner Knife Maker series. This is a difficult grind. So it's going to take a lot of practice. And a lot of aggravation, believe me. Now, see, I hit there. You're going to want to put your finger, if you can, and lift this part off, or you'll get that. I was paying attention over here, wasn't paying attention, but see how we're coming up just slowly right there? Getting that lip out of the way? Yeah, so lift off and just touch it, touch it, touch it. Bring it down, and then bring it over. Let the belt do the work. Don't press in. That's what all this ink is for. The ink shows low spots and high spots. See, it's starting to come and it's going to curve around. I gotta remember to lift off. I'm going a little bit high right there. But you see how it's coming in? Like here's a low spot because that's where our plunge line was. That's where we stopped. And now all this other stuff is pretty straight, 1 or 2 spots. So I gotta remember to do it instead of paying attention to the camera and stuff. I gotta really concentrate here. And see, there's my line right there. So, I like to mark a center line, but to keep them apart. Some people make it an edge. I like to keep my edge kind of thick. Now, just like everything else, you mark your line where you want it to be. For a long time, Swedges really psyched me out. I'll be honest, they still do. I don't know what it is. It's the same thing as grinding a regular bevel, but for some reason this one really psychs me out. But same thing, you're gonna hang your belt over, you're gonna come down to this line and then come down to that line. One grind, that's it. I might have to start putting these phones in 1080 because it's a pain in the butt to try to get off 4K and all that. The files are way too big. So let's just finish this little part up, and that's about it. Just got to make this look like this. See, I start psyching myself out. Look at all these facets I've gotten now. I even brought it down that low, so. Ooh, a little touch and go there. Now I just have to do that over here. So that's where you start chasing back and forth and making mess up and all that stuff. So boy, it rust. Get some PB Blaster on it. Woo wee. Alright. Man, this Swedge started psyching me out a little bit. You can still see I got a facet here and a facet here. But I'm getting really tired. If I mess with it anymore tonight, I'm going to mess it up. Right now I have a chance to hit it on the flats and kind of fix it. Everything's kind of even. This comes back a little bit more than this. So that's where you start chasing your bevels and chasing your Swedges. But right now I'm tired, so I better stop. But that's the basic thing of it. See how these swoop in now? That's what I was talking about here. You can still see it swoops a little bit right here. And this is your main part where you see it swooping down like that. You want to keep this as even as possible. So I might have to touch it right here. It looks like I went in a little bit too far, or I didn't go in far enough here. So tomorrow I'm going to fix it up and all that and work on it and get it all tuned in. But that's our basic idea. If I work on it any more tonight, I'll get tired. So, but I think that's about it for this one. Hope you enjoyed that. Whew, man, if you guys knew what I had to go through to fight that footage. Anyway, I'll talk about it on the live stream. Thanks for watching. Remember, Amazon links and my website are up here for shirts and knives and all that stuff. And all of that stuff's down below. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for all the support. And as always, take it easy.